The story starts with a little boy who was trying to catch a cute bunny, but the bunny beat him up. Afterwards, the cute bunny laughed at him and he escaped from Leod. Suddenly his big brother Shoma appeared, and he was happy to see him. He came back from a trip, and they went to the village. Then he brought Leod a book from his trip, and he was happy about his gift. A few years passed, and Leod left his village to become a soldier in the capital. He entered a house and he was unsure whether the witch in front of him was called Marie. Suddenly Marie said that witches have been fulfilling wishes since time immemorial, and that's how they make money. She asked him what he wanted from her and the reasons for his desires. Following this, he introduced himself and said that he will live with her because he wants to become a soldier. Marie became angry, and she learned that he was from Kunlun village. In addition, she was shocked after hearing that Alka sent him. Suddenly Alka appeared. She was greeting her student and Marie bowed to her. After that, she learned about the story of Leod and Alka said that it is just a video. Marie started insulting her and her master said that she was just kidding. After Alka disappeared, she planned to destroy the magical crystal ball. She threw it in a closet and she was angry that her master was causing her problems. Leod apologized and Marie knew it wasn't his fault. So Marie decided to look after him until his entrance exam. Before he went to his room, Marie learned that he was a very nice boy. Additionally, she learned that the magical crystal serves as a teleportation gate, and Marie was shocked because Alka always uses inhumanly strong magic. Then Alka told her student to take good care of Lloyd and she cursed Marie because she called her lolly grandma. Marie was angry because Alka used her powerful magic to annoy her. The following morning, Marie woke up and smelled a delicious scent. Leod made breakfast for her and he apologized because it was nothing special. He hoped she liked it and she thanked him. After breakfast, Leod was asked about his dream of becoming a soldier. He replied that he was always the weakest in his village. Then he learned about the entrance exam, and Marie said that the combat test is the most important. Suddenly, he said that stamina was not his strength, and Marie learned that he ran to the capital in just 6 days. She was shocked, and Leod was unaware that he was a monster. Then Leod said that monsters always try to take over the world, and Marie explained to him that he was talking about a demon lord. Suddenly Marie realized that her skin looked like a Snapchat filter. Afterwards, Leod showed that the secret is to write a magical rune on it. She was shocked by the secret because she had spent 3 years learning disenchant rune. Besides, she learned that he also knew other magic that no normal person can use. The following day he visited the city of Azami, and some citizens said that monsters were brought to the city this year. Leod remembered that he had to do something for Marie. Then we see a girl bumped into a nobleman, and he was surprised that the Belt Princess actually planned to join the military. Selene ignored him and walked into a dark alley. Then a monster appeared and she was attacked. She managed to dodge the attack and tried to launch a counterattack. Unfortunately, the giant mantis was too strong and she was blown against the wall. At the last moment, Leod appeared, and he defeated the monster. He saved Selene and got the monster out of town. Following this, he helped Selene stand up and he cleaned her face with his magic tissue. Selene was ashamed of her face but grateful that he had saved her life. Then he went off and Selene realized that she had fallen in love with him. In the evening, she changed her clothes, and she remembered Leod's sweet smile. She was blushing, and she was planning on putting on makeup. After seeing her face in the mirror, she became sad again because she was cursed. Selene was told that one day a person would come to break her curse. As a result, she planned to rip the belt off her head, and she realized that her curse was lifted. She was sure that Leod had broken her curse. Meanwhile, Leod had successfully completed his job, and he used the remaining money to buy Marie a souvenir. A few days later the day came, and many candidates tried to join the military. Melfin said he hopes to find a lot of strong newbies. Following this, Connie saw that the noble Alan was having a fight with a girl. The reason for this was that Selene didn't want to smash with him and swiped him to the left on Tinder. Meanwhile, mercenary Riho found out that many promising candidates are participating and she was surprised about the monster next to her. She could sense that Leod was very powerful and he thought her robot arm was cool. Then she realized he was a nice boy, but Selene slammed her against the wall. She loved him, and she was jealous because he was talking to another girl. Rio tried to survive and she understood that the blonde girl is crazy. A short time later, the combat test began, and they had to prove their power on a dummy. Then we see Riho and she thought that Meltfan invited the country boy. He didn't know who the boy was, but he could sense that Leod is overpowered. Unfortunately, Meltfan was called when he wanted to watch Leod do the combat test. Meanwhile, Marie was also sure that Leod will pass because he comes from the legendary Kunlun village. In the evening, the results were announced and he realized that his name wasn't on the list. Following this, the student guidance for the newbies started, and some of them wondered where Leod was. Riho realized that Meltfan was also totally confused, and he didn't know that Leod failed the entrance exam. Then he was punished, and he gave out the information about the Jew Empire. Riho planned to take advantage of her fortune, and Selene went crazy because her crush wasn't accepted. Meanwhile, Connie explained them that the person who finds Princess Maria will get a wish granted. Then we see Leod, and he was sad because he failed in both exams. Suddenly, a huge monster appeared and he defeated him with one blow. Leod heard about a cafeteria that was looking for a part-timer. So he entered the cafeteria and he was mistaken for a monster. He said he didn't want to cause any trouble, but Chrome could feel his monstrous power. Leod said he could cook and clean, but Chrome misunderstood something and thought he was an assassin. As a result, Chrome replied that he's ready for battle, and he was confused because Leod planned to cook a risotto. Following this, he started cooking, and Chrome didn't believe him that he failed the military entrance exam. Then he said that he was looking for a job because he planned to take the military entrance exam again next year. Later, they thought that Leod had failed the written test, and Connie punished Meltfan for his nonsense. She found out about his test, and she was shocked because his answers were ancient runes. They learned that Leod was a special person. Meanwhile, he served a tomato risotto, and Chrome thought he was trying to poison him. Chrome decided to try his dish and hoped not to die. Then Connie explained that ancient runes are a special kind of magic. Connie understood why he didn't pass, and he explained to them that it was just a misunderstanding. Following this, Chrome was impressed because his dish was delicious. Chrome praised his dish and he hired him as a part-timer. In the evening, Leod said that he had failed the entrance exam, and Alka planned to wipe out the kingdom Azami. Then Leod said that he would repeat the entrance exam next year, and Alka learned that he would like to stay with Marie during that time. Alka allowed him to stay by Marie, and he was grateful that he got permission. Afterwards, Marie was surprised that she gave him permission to stay, and she planned to move in too. Suddenly, Marie told about the problem of the kingdom of Azami, and she asked her master to solve the problem with her power. Alka understood that the culprit was manipulating the king, but she could not prevent war. The reason for this was that the people of Kunlun only protect humanity from demon lords or epic disasters. Marie was aware that she could not intervene in people's conflicts, and for this reason she learned the disenchant rune. Alka understood her feelings, but she forbade her to involve Leod in the conflict, and she ordered her to help him enter the military academy. Then Alka said goodbye to return to the village, and Marie insulted her. So another curse was cast on her and she was angry. She hated her master, and she threw the teleportation crystal ball into a well. The following day, Riho told Meltfan that Selene was trying to find Leod. Meltfan noticed that the cafeteria was busy and said that there usually aren't that many customers, so he was surprised that the floor was clean. Riho sensed that the owner was strong, and she learned that he was the former head of the royal guard. Following this, the food was served to them, and they were surprised by the delicious taste. Meltfan learned that a new worker is cooking the dishes. Leod appeared out of nowhere, and Meltfan was shocked to learn that Leod was the new worker. Then we see Leod, and he was taking care of the trash, and he noticed that they attract insects. Before he went back to the cafeteria, he spotted Marie walking into an alley. He thought she was going shopping and he found out about a fight. Following this, we see Selene, who was arguing with Alan. Alan became angry, and he challenged Selene to a fight. Then Selene was attacked, and she couldn't dodge the attack. At the last moment, she was protected by the cursed belts, and Alan was defeated. She thought it was caused by Leod's blessing, and the other students were confused. Suddenly, Leod appeared, and she was happy to have found him. He was confused, and didn't understand what was happening. Meanwhile, the others showed up, and also found out about the fight. Suddenly, Meltfan planned to punish Alan, because he mistook Leod for a normal citizen. Connie learned that Leod was the ancient rune user, and she forced Alan to fight Leod. Riho was worried, and Meltfan said that he will survive as long as he doesn't get punched in the face. So they tried to stop Leod, and he started hitting with all his strength. Before he hit Alan in his face, Marie appeared, and she caused a tornado. She fled with Leod, and the others wondered what had happened. Following this, Leod realized that Marie had caused the tornado, and he was surprised to see her. He understood that Marie had saved him, and said sorry for causing trouble. She couldn't resist his puppy Riz, and she learned that he is just an innocent boy. Meanwhile, Chrome showed up and he planned to talk to Marie. He sent Leod back and told her that he was looking for her because he wanted to know why the king was changing. Suddenly, Marie told him that soon the culprit will try to manipulate the king into declaring war against Kingdom Jew at the festival day. She said that she doesn't know the culprit and she needs Chrome's help. In the evening, Meltfan checked the training regiment again, and Connie wondered why he always took his work so seriously. He told her that his hometown was burned down by the Jew kingdom, and he won't let something like that ever happen again. In the followed morning, Celine said she couldn't find Leod and planned to ask the famous witch Marie for help. Suddenly, Leod opened the door and they were surprised to see him. Riho commented that he is maybe in a relationship with Marie, but Celine said that they are bound by fate. Then Riho understood that Leod had freed Celine from the belt curse. A short time later, Marie showed up, and she was surprised to see guests. She let her guard down, and she was scared by Celine's side eyes. Following this, Rio told that they were looking for the missing person, and showed a picture. Marie was acting strange because she was the missing princess of Kingdom Azami. She tried to keep her identity secret, and Celine started asking her questions. Suddenly she started crying, and Marie misunderstood something. Celine said she wanted to know the truth, and Marie planned to stop hiding her identity. However, Celine asked if she was Leod's wife, and Riho was surprised that Marie herself was the missing princess. After that, they told Marie that they were looking for the princess because they wanted to get Leod into the academy. As a result, Marie told them about the danger in the kingdom, and she offered to do an information trade. Meanwhile, Leod showed up, and he said that he thinks he already knows her true identity. Leod said that she is the hero of justice who secretly saves the kingdom. Marie was confused, and he thought that she was fighting against demon lords to protect the kingdom from danger. In that case, he asked Marie for permission to support her in battle to protect the kingdom. Marie remembered the promise with Alka, and she introduced herself as the famous savior of Kingdom Azami. She lied to Leod and said that he was too weak to help her, but he really wanted to help her. Marie suddenly became angry because she would need his help, but she couldn't get him into trouble. As a result, Leod became very sad and apologized for asking too much. After that, Marie asked the two girls for help, and she revealed her true identity. Following this, Riho wanted to know why she lied and refused Leod's help. Celine was angry that she insulted Leod and called him a weakling. Shortly afterwards, Marie cleared up the misunderstanding and told them that Leod came from the village of Kunlun. They learned that Kunlun forbids their villager from interfering in human conflicts. She then told them that she cannot reveal her identity as a princess at the moment because the king wants to prevent the declaration of war from being stopped. Riho and Celine agreed to help her, and she thanked them. Meanwhile, Leod was lying sad in his bed, and he was depressed because he thought he was a weakling. Then we see Marie, and she was hoping that her plan will work to free her father from the culprit's control. Alka appeared out of nowhere and overheard their conversation. Alka was angry that Marie had thrown her crystal ball into a well, and she planned to cast another curse on her. In the days that followed, Riho and Celine tried to get information about the king, and a guy told them something interesting. In the evening, the festival started, and Alka noticed that Leod is still sad. She was happy about the setup, because she planned to use the chance to make him fall in love with her. Then she bought him a chocolate banana, and she planned to lick on his banana as exchange. At that moment, a group of monsters appeared and attacked the townspeople. Meanwhile, Chrome asked to serve as a royal guard again, but Meltfan answered for the king. Chrome said that he met Princess Maria, and he learned information about the culprit. Following this, Meltfan was accused of being the culprit, and he told them the reasons for his intention to attack the Jew kingdom. After his confession, the girls also showed up, and Marie revealed her true identity. Suddenly King Asami turned around, and Meltfan thought that the king was under his control. He was wrong, and King Asami said that he burned his village so that his seal would be broken. Additionally, Meltfan was also turned into a monster, and he became the king's puppet. Marie planned to stop her evil father, and Meltfan attacked her. Riho stopped Meltfan so Marie could stop her evil father. Then Marie arrived in the royal hall, and she tried to free her father from the true culprit. She fought King Asami and used powerful spells to repel his attacks. The moment she planned to free her father with ancient rune magic, the enemy took advantage of her weakness. After this, the culprit who had been controlling her father looked down on her and broke her arm. He told her that she will die in the room, and she realized that she had not apologized to Leod yet. Marie didn't want to die before apologizing to Leod, and she learned that the culprit was the demon lord Abaddon. In the meantime, Leod defeated many monsters, and he still thought they were all normal bugs. He was looking for the monsters, and thought that maybe the monsters are in the castle. Then Leod said that he would like to help Marie, and he is aware that he will not be of much help. After the demon lord revealed his true identity, Marie realized she didn't have to refuse Leod's help. She was angry because the demon lord had not revealed his identity sooner. Suddenly Marie ran out of the royal hall and she planned to get Leod so that he could defeat the demon lord immediately. Leod was on his way to the castle and he defeated many monsters along the way. Then he discovered Alan, who was hiding from the monsters. He was ashamed that he was afraid to fight a monster, and Leod remembered that he was also afraid when he fought his first demon lord. As a result, Leod misunderstood something and he tried to cheer Alan up. He learned that Leod had failed the entrance exam, and he defeated the monster behind him. Suddenly, Leod said that he was braver than him, and he was able to cheer him up. Alan was confused by the nonsense Leod said to him. Then he encountered a monster again, but Leod's words of wisdom encouraged him to do his best as a soldier. We then see Alka, who found out that a demon lord was involved. She was angry that the monsters had disturbed her lovey-dovey time with Leod, and she destroyed them with a powerful spell. Meanwhile, Riho tried to stop Meltfan, but his power was on another level as a mutated insect. Selen agreed with Riho that they needed Leod, and she believed that Leod would save them. So she intended to let herself be attacked because she believed that Leod would show up to protect her. Meltfan attacked her, but her belts protected her, and she explained that her belt is the tie that binds her fate to Leod. So Selen suffered no damage, and Riho said that she will try to find Leod. Suddenly Leod appeared, and she was surprised to see him. Leod entered the castle and Selen was happy to see him, but he was worried about Chrome. He said that he had come to help them and spotted Meltfan in front of him. However, Leod knew that the person in front of him is a soldier, and he said that a true soldier ensures peace. He managed to help Meltfan gain control of his consciousness. At that moment, Meltfan remembered his dream, that he wanted to make a world free of war, and he transformed back. Unfortunately, Leod concluded that Meltfan was drunk, and that's why he dressed up in a cosplay and was doing stupid things. Because of his stupid conclusion, Meltfan turned back into a monster. Then he accidentally knocked out Meltfan, and Leod thought that Meltfan had fallen asleep. After that, Leod learned that Marie is in danger and she was fighting against a monster. Leod planned to go rescue her, but Marie appeared in the room. She was very happy to see him because she wanted to apologize to him for her mean words. Suddenly King Azami appeared, and Leod thought the demon lord was another drunken cosplayer. Then Marie had a good idea and said that she had already defeated the monster. She just played along, and she told Leod that the drunk cosplayer was trying to harass her. After this, Leod was asked to wipe the dirt off the cosplayer with his magic trick. Leod didn't realize that he was a demon lord in front of him, and he began to clean him with his enchanted tissue. As a result, King Azami was freed and Marie was able to prevent the evil plan. Leod was worried about Marie and he used his powers to heal her. Suddenly she thanked Leod and Selen was jealous. The following day, Leod was seen at the festival and his big brother Shoma showed up. He was happy to see his big brother and found out that he was supplying goods for the festival stalls. Shoma congratulated him on defeating Demon Lord Abaddon. Suddenly Alka appeared, and Leod told her that Shoma was standing next to him a moment ago. Then we see Chrome, and he noticed that Connie was worried about Meltfan. Chrome asked if she was worried about her love interest, and he regretted teasing her. Following this, Chrome told her that he was sent to the outskirts to do hard labor in an environment where death would feel like salvation. Meltfan was sent to Kunlun village, and Alka told him that he will work the wheat fields next. Meltfan later learned that Alka had been breeding fast-growing crops when the world was attacked by many demon lords. At that moment he remembered when his village was burned down, and a person showed up to deliver them wheat. A few days later, Alka visited Leod and she planned to do nonsense. Marie stopped her from the nonsense and she was asked why she wasn't returning to the castle. She replied that she likes her current life more. Afterwards, Marie wondered who brought Leod to the academy and his friends were waiting for him. Alka met Selen and they both argued because they got a crush on Leod. Then Alka noticed that Selen has a legendary artifact from the village of Kunlun. Suddenly Alan appeared, who interrupted the conversation, and Leod thanked him because Alan helped him to get into the academy. He explained to them that he helped fight the monsters, and as a reward he demanded that Leod be allowed to enter the academy. Suddenly Alka started causing trouble and everyone started talking nonsense. Marie stopped them to do nonsense, and she wished Leod to have fun in the academy. In the following night, Leod looked at the stars in the sky and Marie thanked him for his help. Then we see them a few hours earlier, and while picking up trash, Chrome discovered the holy sword that could only be removed by a very powerful person. Later, Chrome asked what they should do with the holy sword, and Marie replied that Chrome will take care of it. In the following mornings we see the students doing sports, and Leod was the only one who had endless stamina. Then the next lesson began, and Connie showed up to tell the students that they were doing practical lessons from today. After that, Connie explained the types of magic to the students, and they were supposed to practice their magic on a dummy. So the training for the inter-school match started, and Riho was able to cast a fire spell that made Selene jealous. Following this, Leod was told to cast a fire spell and he thought he had failed. He almost destroyed the school, and all of his spells were overpowered. In the end, Connie wanted to see his wind magic, and she was shocked by the result. Later, Selene said that she would like to learn healing magic and she had naughty thoughts. Riho told her that healing magic is the most difficult spells, and Connie was surprised by her knowledge. Then Leod said that he also wanted to learn healing magic. Following this, they needed an injured man, and Alan was chosen for it. In the afternoon, customers showed up to see Marie. Mina introduced herself and her sister Philo, who were known as the mercenary sisters of Rokuju. After showing Marie a photo of Riho, they sensed a dangerous aura, and Leod was attacked by Philo. He was confused and thought that Philo was trying to hit a fly. As a result, he said sorry for getting in her way while trying to kill the fly. Then he discovered Philo's photo, and he told Mina that he knows Riho. Suddenly, Philo accepted Leod as master, and she planned to move in with Marie. Marie kicked the girls out of her house, and she learned that Leod got a body out of steel. Afterwards, Alka showed up, and she was jealous because she learned that Marie had been spending time with Leod in the Holy Sword Village. Leod was surprised to see Alka, and she turned Marie into a butterfly. At night, she changed back, and Leod was shocked to see Marie without clothes. She was ashamed and fell asleep on the floor. In the next day, Chrome planned to set up a prize after seeing the students working so hard for the inter-school match. Following this, the headmaster of Rokuju Academy showed up, and she was looking for Riho. Selene asked about the woman, and Connie explained that Roll was her classmate back at Rokuju. Suddenly, Roll threatened Riho, and she said that she will wait for her response on the day of the match. After that, Philo started to flirt with Leod, and he was surprised about her words. Leod explained to Selene that Philo asked him if she could move into his home, but he was concerned about Riho. In the evening, Marie noticed that Lloyd was in a bad mood, and she thought that the reasons are that he saw her naked on the floor. Then Lloyd told her that there's someone he wants to cheer up, and Marie misunderstood something. She suggested that he should invite the girl on a date, and Lloyd said that he will go ask Rio out on a date tomorrow. In the followed morning, Selene showed her a photo of Lloyd to cheer her up. Suddenly Lloyd appeared and he asked Rio to go with him on a date. They went to Dunkin' Donuts, and Lloyd told her that he was worried to see her so depressed since that other day. In the meantime, Selene was stalking them, and she tried to find out about what they were talking. Then Riho told Lloyd that she grew up in an orphanage. Riho said that Raul taught her magic, and because of her left hand, she couldn't do anything to support the orphanage. One day, when Raul came home, she was holding a mithril prosthetic arm. After this, Riho thought she could finally earn some money for the orphanage, but she ran away. She told Lloyd that Raul gave her the arm because she planned to sacrifice Riho's life in exchange to pull out the holy sword. Besides, she told Leod that her arm increased her magic power and she can't take it off. Then Selene showed up and she eavesdropped their conversation. She wanted to help Riho get revenge on Raul, and Leod also wanted to help her win the inter-school match. In the followed day, Connie told them that Leod will participate on the inter-school match, and Philo wanted to live with Leod. Suddenly they heard a voice, and Connie asked who the person was. Miko, a student of the second-year class, appeared, and she planned to participate on the match. After this, Miko's match started and they learned that Philo needs to use items to create magic. Miko tried to attack Philo with a powerful spell, but Philo defeated her with ease. Leod wanted to treat her injuries with his healing magic, but she thought that he was looking down on her, and she started calling him a weakling. After the match, Miko visited Marie because she was her biggest fan. Then Marie served her a cup of black coffee and she got a crush on her. Miko dreamed of marrying her someday, but Lloyd arrived home and disturbed her time with Marie. After this day, she started to hate Leod because he got all of the attention of her crush. In the followed day, the official inter-school match was announced, and Rio called Roll a greedy snake. Suddenly, Chrome told them that the winner will get the legendary holy sword as reward, and they were shocked about the news. After this, we see the day before, and Miko was crying in the rain. Shoma showed up, and he said that she can tell him what was bothering her. She whispered to Shoma that her love had been stolen. Then Riho told Chrome to explain himself, and Selene told Connie about the sad story of Riho's prosthetic arm. Roll planned to go back to being a student, and she planned to play dirty. Connie told Leod that he will fight too, and Riho asked Connie to teach her healing magic. In the meantime, we see Alka, who learned that Marie made a bento to win Lloyd's heart. She was angry at Marie for trying to seduce Leod, and she cast another curse on her. A short time later, the rules were explained and they learned that they were only allowed to use attacks with magic. Roll looked down on Leod and she thought that he is weak. After that, the first match started and Ceylin thought that her belts will protect her. Unfortunately, they didn't reacted, and Ceylin wondered why they didn't protected her this time. Philo started shooting fireballs at them and Ceylin tried not to get hit by her powerful magic attacks. Suddenly, Philo activated a Pikachu Thunderbolt spell, and her belts protected Ceylin because the belts only responded to serious threats. Ceylin planned to launch a counterattack, and she tied up Philo with her belts. In that moment, Philo planned to use her martial arts skill, but Ceylin was disqualified because using her belt was against the rules. Then the next match started, and Mina underestimated her opponent. Mina thought she will win against Leod, and she tried to suffocate Leod to get him to give up. 20 minutes later, Mina thought he was cheating, and the referee checked if Leod was dead. He replied that he is alive. Following this, she cast another spell, and she created a huge wall of water, which surrounded Leod. Leod realized that he needs to fight too, and he cast a wind spell that caused a huge explosion. Leod was ashamed because he failed his spell, but everyone celebrated his victory. After that, the final match started, and they both attacked with fireball spells. Connie noticed that Roll tried to get Rio to run out of magic power, and Roll told Riho to surrender. Suddenly, Riho stopped her attack. Roll took the chance and Rio was surprised that she knew how to took of her mithril arm. Then Roll looked down on her, but Riho punished her opponent for underestimating her. She said that she learned to cast healing spells, and she planted a magic stone into her arm to create a huge explosion. As a result, Roll fainted out, and Riho won the final match against Roll. Roll was dreaming, and she couldn't believe that she fall for Riho's lie. Then she tried to get the holy sword, because she wanted that her dream will come true. In the evening she woke up, and she was reported that Leod is holding the sword for now. Her assistant told her about the whereabouts of Leod. Following this, she entrusted Philo with the job to bring the person, who was overly protective. Philo arrived at Marie's house and Marie apologized to Alka and asked her to dissolve her curse. She went to the toilet and Philo took the chance and thought that she should bring the crystal ball to Roll. Later, Leod arrived home and he found a letter in which it was written that they have someone who is precious to him. Alan showed up, and Leod thought that they kidnapped Marie. In the meantime, Philo brought Roll the magic crystal of Alka, and she called Philo an idiot. Then they learned that Leod are coming up with the holy sword, and Philo was looking at him. She jumped out of the window, and she planned to fight against Leod. A short time later she challenged Leod to a duel, and she attacked him with a strong punch. She got excited and she said that he is an adversary worthy for a duel to death. Leod accepted her challenge, and Philo could sense his powerful aura. Then he said that if he wins, she will told him about the whereabouts of Marie, and he entrusted Alan with the holy sword. Leod thought that he couldn't win, because back home, he got wrist slapped by a girl. As a result, he challenged Philo to arm wrestling, and he said that his gramps said that in their village it's customary to settle these things by arm wrestling. Following this, Alan was attacked, and Roll's assistant tried to steal the holy sword. Alan tried to protect the holy sword, and Mina showed up to help him because she wanted revenge, after Roll calling her beloved sister an idiot. In the meantime, Leod began to get serious against Philo, and they both released their power. Philo thought that she will win, but Leod cast a strong wind spell. In the end, Leod noticed that he won, and he thought that he broke the rules. He was wrong, and Philo proposed to Leod, because she planned to be his wife. Then Leod learned that Marie wasn't kidnapped, and Philo told Mina that she planned to marry Leod. Meanwhile, Alka appeared out of the crystal ball, and she thought that Roll tried to drive a wedge between her and Leod. She was furious, and she attacked Roll with a powerful spell. Alan couldn't let her die, and he set out to save her from drowning. In the followed morning, a mysterious guy cast a spell on her, and she wondered where did she go wrong. She remembered the time with Riho, and at that time she planned to rebuild the orphanage together with Riho. When she woke up, Riho was next to her, and she was happy that Riho wasn't angry at her. Then we see Sue, and he was the culprit, who manipulated Roll to get the holy sword. He was planning to unlock the last dungeon, and wanted to kill Alka. Then we see the two mercenary sisters of Rokuju who were investigating an incident in the forest. They found a guy who was attacked by a strong Trent, and they decided to take him to the hospital. In the followed day, Rio wanted to spend her time with Lloyd when their long break starts. Then we see Selin in a bad mood because she couldn't spend her vacation with Lloyd, and she planned to burn down her house. Lloyd replied that he already had plans, but Selin tried to persuade him to marry her. Suddenly Alan showed up, and Lloyd learned that he had been invited to a formal marriage interview during the vacation. He was happy to tell his friends about it, but the girl said that Lloyd should just ignore him. Arrived home, Alka was arguing with Marie, and he told them that he will be going away to do a live-in part-time job. They didn't want him to go to work on his vacation, but Lloyd used his puppy Riz, and the two accepted his decision. A few days later, Koba, the owner of the hotel, sensed a dangerous aura, and Lloyd appeared behind him. Lloyd learned that Koba was a leader of the royal guard, and he admired him. After this, Lloyd learned about strange incidents around the place, and Koba said they are still investigating the causes. A short time later they arrived at a luxurious spa room, and Lloyd was amazed at the sight. Koba introduced him to his senior employee Kikyu, and she noticed that Lloyd was a boy with good manners. Afterwards he was given a broom, and Lloyd started cleaning the room while Kikyu talked. She was shocked that he cleaned everything in just a moment, and she realized that the entire floor was even shiny. Koba showed up, and Kikyu wanted to know where he found the boy, but he replied that it was his secret. He liked Lloyd and gave him his uniform to work as a receptionist. Following this, they arrived at the room of Lord Threonine, and Koba tried to be friendly to him. Lord Threonine had a difficult personality, and Koba said that the cypress forest is very popular among tourists. Suddenly Lloyd was asked about those trees, and he said they are very pretty, but it like a bit of waste. Lord Threonine shared the opinion of Lloyd, and Koba was surprised that Threonine liked him. Then he said that he was glad to meet him and he enjoyed the conversation. In the night we see Lord Threonine asking Kikyu for new information, but she replied that there was nothing new to report. He then told her that they need to prevent the area from becoming a Trent dungeon. Also he said that he arrived so early because an annoying local lord planned to arrange a marriage for his son. He said that the guy is suspicious, and Kikyu understood that Threonine agreed to the marriage interview to investigate the incident. He heard rumors that the Demon Lord's seedling was stolen. Kikyu thought that Lloyd was controlled by a Trent, and she got the mission to save him. In the followed day, Lloyd was in the kitchen, and she told him about the incident where people are falling comatose. She learned that he is a soldier in training, and she thought that Koba was the culprit. Following this, she tried to expel the Trent from his body, but Koba disturbed her plan. He was angry that she wasn't working, and he wondered why the tea tasted weird. Kikyu thought Koba was the culprit, but Koba thought that Kikyu was the one responsible for the incidents. The following morning, Riho arrived, and she planned to enjoy her vacation. She ordered a massage, but she didn't know that Lloyd was working there. Then he prepared everything for the massage, and Riho realized that she will get the Johnny Sins service by him. She wasn't ready for doing that kind of massage and told him to call another worker. Suddenly they heard that someone was screaming, and they tried to find out what had happened. In the meantime, Selin was also on the way to the hotel, and she didn't know what her father had planned. They arrived at the hotel of Koba, and Selin wondered what the girls mean with marriage meeting. She realized that she got a marriage interview with Alan, and she told her father that she didn't want to marry Alan. Unfortunately, her father didn't listen to Selin, and he forced her to gain experience on the marriage interview. Then they met Lord Threonine, and Selin planned to end Alan's life to prevent the wedding. She grabbed the fork, and she was ready to kill Alan after entering the room. Suddenly Lloyd appeared, and she immediately jumped on him to hug him. She kidnapped Lloyd to spend time with him, and left the room with her crush. Following this, Selin planned to do naughty things with him, but Rio stopped her. Riho wondered why Lloyd showed up instead of Alan, but Lloyd told her the reason. He explained to them that Alan had been bathing in the hot water, and that he had fainted out. As a result, Lloyd was asked if he could represent him at the marriage interview instead of Alan. Selin took her chance and said that they should go on a date to investigate the incidents. Suddenly Lloyd said that her idea was great, and he accepted to go on a date with her. A few hours later we see Lloyd with Selin standing by a lake, and she forced him to compliment her. He said that she is a little bit too close, but she replied, if he don't put on a good act, they would appear suspicious. Suddenly, Riho appeared and she told her to stop talking nonsense. Meanwhile, Koba suspected Threonine as the culprit, and he wondered about what he is talking. After this, Riho scolded her to force Lloyd to say nonsense. Suddenly Shoma appeared and Lloyd asked what he was doing here. He said that he was delivering to them a bunch of explosive magic items, and Riho learned that Selin ordered them. Then Lloyd introduced them to his big brother Shoma, and he told him that he joined the military academy. Shoma said goodbye to them because he was still working for Amazon, and Celine kidnapped Leod to continue their date. Later on, she told Leod about her story and said that she suffered from the belts. Then she said that she didn't regret being cursed because it led her to meet her hero. Suddenly Leod said that he is not a hero because he is weak, but Celine cheered him up. She said that he helps a lot of people and he shouldn't think so badly of himself. Following this, we see Kikyu, who still planned to save Leod with the medicine. She tried to sneak up on him, but he noticed her immediately and asked what she was doing there. She lied to him and said that she wanted to show him a secret massage technique. After that, she used the medicine and she tried to find the Trent parasite. She believed that the parasite was in his pants and she tried to get her hand into his pants. Suddenly Celine appeared, preventing her plan, and she was attacked by Celine. Kikyu managed to block her attacks and she used the John Cena move to knock her out. Unfortunately, Celine was protected by the belt, and Kikyu took the chance to escape. Then Celine also took the chance and convinced him to go to the hot springs. A few hours later, Celine planned to do naughty things with Leod, but Riho stopped her. Suddenly, Alka appeared, and Leod learned that Marie accompanied her. All girls tried to seduce Leod, and the two mercenary sisters appeared. Mina told them that they were both hired by the Azami kingdom, and Philo planned to become Leod's future wife. After this, Mina told them that a really troublesome seedling was stolen, and Alka heard about it. Mina learned that Alka was the chief of Kunlun village, and she understood why Leod was overpowered. Then Leod was motivated to do something against the demon seedling, and he realized that everyone could see his sausage. Suddenly Alka was thrown at an enemy, and Philo said that they were being watched. Kikyu was shocked that a person was thrown at her, and the secretary of Threonine appeared. She learned that he was the guy who was infested by a Trent, and she wondered what's the deal with that boy. Then she was confused and the enemy drained all her energy. Suddenly Leod appeared in the forest, and he tried to find Alka. Leod thought that the secretary was wearing a cosplay, and he was shocked by his conclusion. After this, he introduced himself as the Earl King, who was the demon lord of the trees. Leod didn't understand that the hotel was being attacked by a monster, and he thought that they were having a costume party. Meanwhile, Lord Threonine said that strange things were happening in his forest, and he suspected Celene's father as the culprit. Then we see Leod, who had defeated all the Trants, and Kikyu was shocked by his monstrous strength. Then the girls heard a loud noise, and they wondered where it come from. After that, Celene's father told them that he did business with a young man with tanned skin, who claimed to be a representative of the Lidocaine family. They were confused, and Minoki arrived at the hotel. He was angry, because he was sick of Threonine's arrogant attitude. He planned to kill them, but Lloyd's friends appeared in time to protect them. Mina attacked with a strong fire spell, but Minoki was able to nullify magic. Suddenly Philo started to attack him with a strong kick, but she could sense that the enemy wasn't defeated. Riho got an idea, and she told Celine to win her some time. Minoki started to launch a counterattack, and Celene's father managed to save his daughter. In the meantime, Riho told Alan to help her, and she commanded him to start throwing the firebombs at the monster. Then we see that Minoki tried to kill the mercenary sisters, but Alan hit him with a firebomb. They learned that Riho's plan worked, and they weakened Minoki. Following this, he was attacked with a water spell, and Riho cast an ice spell to freeze the demon lord. Unfortunately, their attack failed, and Minoki wasn't defeated by the powerful spells. Celine tried to save her father, who was stuck under rocks, but he told her to run away. She told him that she was in love with someone who claims to be weak, but won't hesitate to help others, all with a smile. In the last moment, Leod appeared, and he saved Celine and her father. After that, Leod learned that Minoki wasn't wearing a cosplay. He started to launch his attack, and he was able to reach the core of the monster. Leod managed to defeat the monster, and he believed that he wouldn't have been able to do it without his friends. Then we see Shoma, who was watching Leod's fight, and he loved his show. Alka learned that he was working with Sue, and he said that he will play a lot more pranks on them. In the following morning, Threonine apologized for causing Koba so much trouble. Then we see Celene's father apologizing to Selene, and he said he would now support her on her way to becoming a successful soldier. Suddenly Alka said she needs a massage after the hard work, and Leod replied that he learned a secret massage technique by Kikyu. As a result, he thought the John Cena finishing move was a massage technique, and he knocked Alka out. Meanwhile, Miko was taken to an abandoned church to meet Sue. Suddenly Miko was asked what did he looks like to her, and she replied that he looks like a priest. Sue learned that someone stole her love away and she planned to get revenge. So Miko wanted to kill Leod, and she was given medicine to increase her power. She immediately drank them, and transformed into a strong monster. Soma loved the show, and Miko could feel a monstrous power flowing into her body. The following morning, Leod said that breakfast was ready. Marie wanted to be fed by Leod, but Selin showed up and punished her. Then Leod said that his friends wanted to pick him up because they are going to a castle today. They were planning to go hunt a giant snake in a dungeon, and Marie was worried about him. Then we see them at the royal palace, and Selin was excited because she was planning to seduce Leod in the dungeon. Unfortunately, Philo said that she will stop their plans because she will become Leod's wife. The king appeared and they were shocked by his appearance. He greeted them with an embarrassing performance and they were confused. Following this, the plan was explained to them, and Connie said that they shouldn't let their guard down. Meanwhile, Sue told Soma his plan, and he was excited about his plan. Later, Leod prepared to go to the dungeon with his girls, and Alan was scared because of the giant snake. Then we see Alka, and she asked Marie if there is a dungeon nearby. In addition, she forced Marie to show her the way to the dungeon. Then Leod entered the dungeon, and Philo asked Riho if she is in love with Leod too. Riho was forced to tell her friends her feelings towards Leod, but they heard a loud explosion. The reason for this was Alka, who destroyed the dungeons to take a shortcut. A short time later, Marie discovered a room in the dungeon and she stumbled about a Trent. She was shocked and realized that Miko was possessed by a Trent parasite. She told Marie that he was waiting for someone to take revenge. Miko told her that the person who stole her love was Leod. At that moment, Marie was confused and she couldn't imagine that Leod seduced a guy. Marie asked her who her love was, and she didn't know that Miko was in love with Marie. Suddenly, Miko wanted to do naughty things with her, and Marie thought that the parasite in her body was driving Miko crazy. Then Leod appeared, and he was surprised to see Miko in the room. Leod said that she was making Marie uncomfortable, and he asked her to put it away. But she challenged Leod to a fight, and he accepted her challenge and showed her his true power. She tried to defeat Leod, but she couldn't hit him because he was too strong. However, she decided to overwhelm him with speed, and she cast a speed spell. Miko managed to hurt him, but he felt no pain at all from her strong attacks. Suddenly, Leod said that he is from Kunlun village, and she thought that he was looking down on her. Meanwhile, the girls heard loud noises and wondered who was making the noises. Then the girls arrived in the room and Miko planned to use them as bait. Leod protected the girls and they wondered why Miko was fighting them. Following this, Miko said that he was wounded because he had to protect his friends. He said that his friends give him courage and his friends are the most important thing in his life. At that moment, Miko attacked her with all her power, but Leod resisted her attack and also released his power. The dungeon collapsed and Leod tried to defeat Miko with strong blows. Following this, Miko noticed that Leod was out of tricks and she tried to kill him with a strong attack. However, Leod began his counterattack and he grabbed the vines to defeat her. As a result, Leod won the fight, and she was thrown out of the dungeon. Suddenly a huge snake appeared and he was happy to see Leod. He no longer remembered him, and Brita said that he served as the guardian beast of Kunlun. Brita complained about Alka for living in the dungeon because Alka tried to make a holy sword out of his skin. After this, Sue appeared, and Leod sensed that the man in front of him was evil. Meanwhile, Alka also showed up looking for him, and he told her to calm down. Sue climbed onto Brita and he used the moment to weaken Kunlun's seal. However, he killed Brita and he laughed evilly because he thought Alka had no power left. Alka attacked him and he was shocked that she didn't lose her power. The reason for this was that Brita had survived and he had transferred his soul. Afterwards, he cast a spell to escape, and he said that he will unseal Kunlun to open the last dungeon. Alan was on his way to save his friends, but he thought that a dangerous monster was in front of him. Although he was afraid, he decided to go ahead, and the soldiers thought that he caused the earthquake. Alka was blamed for the collapse and she said that they could escape with her crystal ball. A few hours later, the king thought that Alan had defeated the snake. He tried to clear up the misunderstanding, but his attempt failed. As a result, Alan got a promotion and was called the legendary Dragon Slayer. In the evening, Leod thought about the name Sue, and he remembered that the name appeared in his book. Following this, Alka showed up, and she planned to kidnap Selene to take her to Kunlun village. In the following day, King Azami learned about an exhibition match between Azami and Ju. He planned to choose the legendary warrior for the match, and Chrome didn't know who he meant. Then we see Leod with his friends on the way to Kunlun village, and Alka told him that they will visit a dwarf first. The girls were looking forward to Kunlun village, and Marie said that they should stop talking nonsense. Then Chrome said that Alan was chosen for the match against Ju. He couldn't escape, and Leod was surprised that Alan is fighting in the royal exhibition match. Following this, he asked Leod to save him. but he only wished him good luck in the fight. A few moments later they arrived at a cave, and Alka called Liko out. She appeared from the teleportation portal and said that she is technically a dwarven royalty. Suddenly she noticed that Britta was in the belt, and she scolded him for hiding from Alka in a dungeon. Alka reminded Liko that her plan was to make a gift out of Britta's skin, and she tried to talk her way out of it. As a result, they were pushed into the portal, and they arrived in Kunlun village. They were led to the village and they could sense that the villagers got the same aura like Leod. Salen and Connie were shocked that the villagers were overpowered like Leod. They saw that a villager could throw a stone on a mountain, and Leod explained to him that it was their way of sending messages. They also learned that they use a huge cannon to get them from one place to another. They were shocked and couldn't believe that the villagers of Kunlun were crazy. After this, a monster appeared, and Leod was happy to see his grandpa. Philo challenged Leod's grandpa to a fight because she thought that he is a master of martial arts. Unfortunately, she misunderstood something and realized that pyramid style is an exercise routine for health and fitness. Then he said that he needs to carry the thing, and Riho offered her help, but when she arrived at Alka's mansion, Riho regretted her decision. After that, Connie found out that her crush was on the wheat field and she went to visit Meltfan. When they arrived, they noticed that he was half naked and wearing an embarrassing outfit. He said he liked his outfit, and he didn't notice that Connie got a crush on him. So he was beaten up by Connie, and he didn't understand what he had done wrong. Afterwards, they learned that Meltfan no longer planned to return to Kingdom Azami. Connie was sad, and they learned that he wanted to continue looking after the wheat fields. Meanwhile, Selen introduced himself to Leod's family. She planned to ask his family for permission to marry him. Unfortunately, she was disturbed, and Rio went out to investigate. But she found out that there was a dragon playing behind the house. She ran away from him, but Leod's cousins saved her. Meanwhile, Selen realized that her marriage registration forms were being used to build paper airplanes. In the evening, a feast was prepared. Then Alka said that it's time for a toast, and she thanked everyone for coming together to celebrate her marriage to Leod. Leod's grandpa thought it was just a joke and he toasted Leod's homecoming. Following this, they learned that Meltfan also became a monster, and they were shocked by the food. After dinner, Rio offered to clean up since she planned to sell the leftovers because the dishes were made from rare monsters. Later they said goodbye to Leod, and his Aunt Sofra asked who his girlfriend is. They wanted to know who he was interested in, and Aunt Sofra said that she recommends Riho. His grandpa said that his vote went to Philo and she felt honored. After that, Selen was angry because she felt left out. Liko appeared, who suggested to create a new body for Brita, but he hated her idea. Later, Liko asked what Alka plans to do after learning about Sue's plan. Liko said that Brita almost got his memories back, and Alka asked if she could wait just a little longer. Then Riho tried to sleep, but the other girls were jealous of her. She learned that her pajama was an expensive dress, and Selen was jealous that she was the favorite of Leod's family. As a result, Rio planned to sell the underwear, and she took them off. Leod showed up, and the girls tried to stop him from falling in love with Riho. In the meantime, Melfton said sorry, but Marie wasn't angry, because she suspected that Alka had already punished him. Then Meltfan talked about his encounter with a merchant, who gave him a mysterious egg. After that day the king became angry, and Marie asked if he remembered the merchant's appearance. She suspected that an evil organization was behind it, and she had the feeling that she had met the merchant before. The following morning Alka was still tired and Brita complained because he wanted his old body back. Alka didn't care about his body and noticed that Leod was deep in thought. The reason for this was that he saw Rio naked, and they were embarrassed to talk about it. A short time later, they arrived at their destination. Alka told them that they arrived at the Last Dungeon, and Rio thought that Last Dungeon sounds like place with tons of treasures. Unfortunately, it wasn't a normal dungeon, and they learned that many dangerous monsters exist there. They learned that the villagers of Kunlun are tasked with defeating the escaped monsters. Following this, Liko tried to explain to them about the danger of the Last Dungeon. They learned that Alka's power is out of control, and countless demon lords could be freed with the Holy Sword. After this, Liko planned to create a body for Brita in order to bring Alka's power back under control. She started setting up a kitchen, and she was frying Brita into meat. Riho told her to stop the nonsense, and she told her that it's the process to create a new body for Brita. After that, she used a pokeball and boiled it in a pot for 3 hours. Suddenly she hit Alka's head, and she noticed that her body felt weak. The girls learned that Alka was weakened, and they started to insult her because she couldn't punish them. After this, Liko said that Brita will soon receive his old body, and they wanted to say goodbye to the villagers. Before they left, Liko said that she wanted to talk with Alka, and she lured Alka into a forest. Suddenly Liko activated a trap, and Alka couldn't do anything since her mana hadn't regenerated yet. Alka learned that Liko planned to free the demon lords, and she was only pretending to help Brita. However, she said that the world needs a rebuild. She closed the hole with a huge rock so that no one could come to help Alka. Meanwhile, the others said goodbye to the villagers and wondered where Alka was. Then Liko showed up, and she managed to convince Marie to run through the portal immediately. Selene wanted to wait for Leod, but Liko replied that they would come later. Afterwards, Leod appeared, and Liko planned to get rid of him so that he can't stop her evil plan. So they arrived back in the kingdom of Azami, and Meltfan appeared behind them. He said that he wanted to give Marie vegetables as a souvenir, and Riho noticed that Liko was acting strange. Then the girls found out that the portal to Kunlun is closed, and they were shocked about it. Connie was happy about the news, because she wanted to have a good time with Meltfan. In the evening, Rio planned to sell the mithril she had collected from Kunlun, and Liko also offered to repair her arm for free in exchange for cheap price. She received a huge amount of money and thought about selling a pair of panties from Kunlun. Suddenly Mina appeared and she was told about her sister's trip to Kunlun with Leod. Mina and Riho went to the hospital because they wanted to see Roll, who was writing a book. Then Roll was asked if she remembered the guy who told her to get the holy sword. She replied that she remembered a noise, and Rio suspected that the person might have been Liko. Later, Chrome said that he needed the two girls as security during the King of Azami and Ju are coming to check on the stadium. Mina thought she would leave the work to Riho, but she was forced to guard the kings with Chrome. Afterwards, Alan showed up and he said he didn't want to fight. Suddenly the girls discovered Sue and Shoma in the stadium, and they were surprised about it. As a result, Riho immediately went to see the King of Azami, and she told them that the kingdom might be in trouble. The king learned that they are friends of his daughter, and he told Riho to discuss this over tea. Meanwhile, Alka was worried about the evil plan of Liko, and Leod showed up. Leod said that he also fell in this hole once, and after that day, he decided to become strong like a soldier. He was able to cheer Alka up, and she thanked Leod for saving her. Then we see Liko, and she reported to Sue that everything is going according to plan. Sue told her that they have made preparations, and they will begin their plan. After this we see Leod, and he learned that the gate was broken. Leod was on his way to their village because he had promised to watch Alan's fight. Following this, Leod planned to use the express cannon, and some villagers activated it with magic runes. Alka wished him good luck, and he used a wind spell to increase his speed. In the following morning, the exhibition match started, and Alan started to launch his attack against his enemy. Suddenly he realized that his enemy was flying, and the girls were surprised to see Miko. Alan was beaten up, and Sue told the King of Azami that he wasn't honest. Then he suggested building an alliance between their kingdoms and revealed that he had the technology to conquer the world. Suddenly, Chrome and Mina felt a powerful aura released by Shoma. The King of Azami began to tell of his story when he was possessed by a demon lord, and he refused due to this mistake. However, Liko decided to make her move, but Riho already warned her friends. She said that no one can stop her, but Selene didn't want to give up. As a result, she decided to fight against Liko, and the others were also willing to risk their lives. Liko used a special technique and she summoned Pokémons that were ordered from Wish. So King Azami was forced to cooperate with them, but Marie knew that the residents could defend themselves. The battle between the kingdoms began, and Shoma was impressed that they replaced the audience with soldiers and adventurers. Suddenly Meltfan appeared, and he knew from the rumors from Shoma that he was doing mischief because his village was too boring for him. Meltfan wanted to fight him and attacked Shoma with his garden tools. Unfortunately, Shoma was able to dodge his attacks, but he was impressed. Then Shoma told that he is bored with the whole world, and he planned to make the world more interesting so that his little brother doesn't have to live a boring life. He also said that he does everything just for Leod, and he started his counterattack. Shoma said he was no match for him. Meanwhile, the girls tried to defeat the bug types Pokémons. They thought Miko was the biggest problem. But they were wrong because Miko only did perverted things to Marie. Then we see that Sue had beaten up Chrome. Alan appeared behind him, and he managed to cut off his arm. They were shocked to see his funny arm, and they realized that he wasn't a human. He revealed to them that he created by the runes of Alka with immortal abilities. He should have disappeared after the world was safe, but nothing happened to him. For this reason, he planned to kill Alka, make Leod a hero, and become pure evil in order to vanish from the world. Suddenly Leod appeared, and Shoma was happy to see his little brother. Everyone was surprised to see him, and he didn't understand that Sue is trying to destroy the world. He was told a lie by Alka, that Liko only ran away because she couldn't restore Britta's body. She tried to explain that she was trying to conquer the world, but Marie also told him a lie. He thought that Liko was just playing with them, and he threw a boulder at her to get the egg from Britta. Liko knew there was no point in explaining to him that she was evil, and she activated a spell. As a result, a Regirock appeared, which was a legendary Pokemon ordered on Wish. Liko told her monster to use Miko as his power source, and Regirock ordered by Wish got the nickname Hentai Rock. Following this, Leod fought against the golem and managed to throw it away. He tried to stop him and immediately destroyed an arm. Unfortunately, he was able to regenerate, and Selene planned to steal Britta from Liko's bag. We then see that Leod managed to destroy the monster's arms, but they immediately regenerated. Leod was attacked, but he managed to dodge the powerful laser beam. Afterwards, Leod planned to end the fight with a kick, but he stopped because he didn't want to hurt Miko. The girls knew that Leod didn't want to hurt Miko, and they came up with a plan to support him. Following this, Leod was stomped into the ground with several strong attacks, and Marie planned to free Miko. Meanwhile, Leod thought that he was too weak to defeat his enemy. He despaired, and thought he had no chance of winning. Suddenly Meltfan appeared, and he protected Leod. He tried to cheer him up, and told him about his dream of becoming an almighty farmer. Then the girls tried to wake Miko up, and she responded to Marie's voice. Meltfan jumped onto the golem and attacked it with all his power. At that moment, Leod realized that he couldn't give up because his friends didn't give up. After this, Riho managed to bait Miko, and she said that she has Marie's panties in her hand. She managed to free herself from the golem and smelled Marie's panties. Selene also managed to steal the egg from Britta, and she ordered him to hatch out of the egg. She said that she had watched Pokemon 100 times, and threatened him to watch the anime 1,000 times with her. Meanwhile, Leod attacked the golem and he activated a powerful wind spell. He managed to defeat Liko's golem. He then attacked the insects, and Shoma made a memorial video of his beloved little brother. So also called him a great hero, and Liko remembered that the two of them planned all along to make Leod a hero. Suddenly meteorites rained down from the sky, and Alka said that Liko's plan failed. Shoma managed to save Liko in time, and they said goodbye to Leod. After that day, Alan was promoted again and he tried to clear up the misunderstanding. Meltfan returned to the academy and Connie was angry because he didn't notice that she got a crush on him. Miko was rescued and Leod invited all his friends to a feast. Selene started arguing with Alka as usual, but they were stopped by the other girls. Then they began to eat lunch and Leod was looking forward to spend more time with his friends.